My wife got $11 million and dumped me, too bad the money wasn't legally hers. I thought we were solid. Married 6 years. No kids yet, but we were working on it. We had a modest house in Arizona, matching cars, and a routine that looked like every other middle-class couple's Instagram: brunch on Sundays, Netflix marathons, weekend hikes where we both pretended we liked nature more than we did. So when my wife, Mel, got a phone call one Wednesday morning that changed everything, I wasn't prepared for how fast it would all unravel. Her great-uncle, some estranged oil baron on her mom's side, had passed away. And apparently, he'd left her everything. No kids, no wife, and a long-standing grudge against his siblings. The result? An inheritance worth $11.3 million. Mel was stunned. So was I. We popped champagne that night, laughed about what we'd do. She talked about quitting her job, starting a foundation, buying her parents a lake house. I cracked jokes about finally upgrading my car's air conditioning. For 3 weeks, everything was sunshine and dollar signs. Then, just like that, she flipped. She got cold, distant, started locking her phone, staying late at her soon-to-be ex-job, and going out more. She said she was just processing everything, and I believed her. Who wouldn't be overwhelmed by suddenly becoming a multimillionaire? Then came the conversation I didn't see coming. We were sitting at the dinner table, halfway through some boxed pasta, when she hit me with it. I think we rushed into marriage. I want space to figure things out. I laughed, thought she was joking. She wasn't. A week later, she moved out. No tears. No fight. Just, this is better for both of us. Like our 6 years together had been a warm-up round for her actual life. I didn't even get to pack up my side of the closet. Just like that, I was alone. No warning. No prenup, which didn't matter, this was inheritance. And no real explanation beyond, I need to find myself. It was brutal. But what she didn't know, what nobody knew yet, the money she just dumped me over? It wasn't legally hers. Mel moved fast after the split. New condo in Scottsdale. New luxury SUV. New friends, 2 people with names like Jackson Cambria who only wore white linen and called vacations cleanses. Within a month of moving out, she was hosting rooftop cocktail parties and tagging brands in her Instagram stories like she was auditioning for Real Housewives of the Desert. She even posted a reel of herself cutting a ribbon in front of some non-profit art foundation she launched. The caption? When one door closes, $11 million opens. Classy. Meanwhile, I was sleeping in a buddy's guest room, eating off paper plates, and wondering how I went from husband to deleted in 30 days flat. I was angry, yeah, but more than that, I was confused. Because Mel was smart. Calculated. She didn't make impulsive moves. So why the hell would she blow up our marriage over money that should have been ours to share? I got my answer 2 weeks later. Mel's cousin reached out to me. We'd always been cool, closer to siblings than she was with Mel, honestly. She invited me out for coffee as a friend, and I almost didn't go. But something about the way she said it felt off. We sat down, and before the drinks even hit the table, she dropped the bomb. She's not keeping the money. I blinked. What? The will. Her uncle left it to her, yeah, but with conditions. One of them being, she had to be legally married for 2 full years after receipt of the inheritance. Otherwise, it goes to the next beneficiary. I stared at her like she'd just spoken another language. She nodded. You've only been married, what, 6 years? That means if she divorces you before 2 more years pass, she forfeits it. And there it was. Mel hadn't just blindsided me. She hadn't read the fine print. Apparently, the inheritance had been put into a restricted trust with conditions baked in like landmines. Her great-uncle, known for his spiteful sense of humor and obsession with family loyalty, made it very clear: no divorces, no sudden separations, no sell-offs for 2 years. Otherwise, the whole $11 million would be redirected to a conservation charity he hated but respected more than his freeloading relatives. And Mel? She dumped me without a clue. I called a lawyer the next morning. He went through the documents, some public, some not. And yep, it was all true. Her inheritance was on a timer. And with every day she spent not married to me, that clock ticked faster toward 0. I could have said nothing. I could have watched her burn it all to the ground and laughed from a distance. But instead, I did something that even surprised me. I called her. When I called Mel, she didn't answer at first. Probably assumed I was drunk, lonely, or looking for closure. But then I texted her one sentence. You should really read section 14 of your uncle's will. She called me back in less than 5 minutes. Why are you bringing that up? She snapped. No hello. No how are you. Just pure panic disguised as annoyance. I stayed calm. Because you just walked away from $11 million without realizing it. Silence. I could hear her breathing, fast and shallow. I talked to a lawyer, I said. The trust isn't unconditional. If we're not married for 2 full years after the money's distributed, it defaults to the secondary beneficiary. Which, by the way, is a bald eagle sanctuary in Montana. You're welcome. I know, she said. That can't be right. It is. And it's enforceable. It was his way of making sure the money didn't get used in some spoiled, drama-fueled divorce. She didn't say anything. Just hung up. 2 days later, she showed up at my buddy's house. Makeup free. Hootie. No camera crew in sight. She brought banana bread like this was some Hallmark reconciliation plot. I made a mistake, she said. I wasn't thinking clearly. Everything moved so fast and I freaked out. But we can fix it. We're still technically married, right? I let her talk. She said all the things I expected her to say. It was the pressure. I felt like I needed to find myself. I still care about you. But I could see the desperation in her eyes. She wasn't here for me. She was here for the trust fund. And that's when I dropped my own bomb. I've filed for separation. Her face cracked. Wait. What? Technically, we're still married, but I filed right after you left. It's been pending. So even if you came running back right now? You already broke the clause. She stood frozen. Eyes glassy, like someone had unplugged her. You didn't tell me. I shrugged. Neither did you. About the spa condo. About the Instagram captions. About ghosting me like I was dead weight the second you saw 7 zeros. She sat down, put her head in her hands. Whispered, I don't know what to do. And for a moment, yeah, I almost felt bad. But then I remembered her words. I need to find myself. Well, she found herself broke, alone, and publicly outed as the woman who fumbled $11 million because she thought she was too good for her husband. That night, I emailed the trust's attorney. Let him know what had happened. Attached the court filings. Asked him, politely, to begin the process of notifying the secondary beneficiary. A week later, I got a thank you card from the Eagle Sanctuary. No, I'm not kidding. So you'd think after losing $11 million, Mel would cut her losses, do some soul searching, maybe move to Bali and start a blog about healing through organic smoothies. Nope. She lawyered up. About a month after the trust officially reverted to the Bald Eagle Sanctuary, I got a letter from her attorney. Not a call. Not an email. A formal demand letter on monogrammed letterhead stating that Mel intended to sue me for intentional sabotage of marital assets. You read that right. She claimed that I intentionally sabotaged our marriage and by extension, her inheritance, by failing to inform her about the conditions of the trust before she filed for separation. Apparently, she thought if she painted me as the scheming ex who hid the fine print, she could claw back some kind of compensation. Her lawyer asked for $2 million. I laughed so hard I nearly dropped the letter in my cereal. But just to be safe, I called my attorney, same guy who reviewed the will in the first place. He read the demand, paused, and said, well, this is gonna be fun. We didn't just reject her claim, we countered. Because here's the part Mel and her overpriced lawyer failed to consider. Every major decision she made at the move out, the public social media posts, the ribbon-cutting ceremony at her foundation, all of it was timestamped. All of it happened before I ever filed for separation. She pulled the plug. I just made it official. And better yet? Her own cousin, yes, the one who spilled the truth to me in the first place, agreed to submit a witness statement. Confirmed that Mel had bragged about finally being free and not needing to share any of her inheritance just days after the check hit her account. The case didn't even make it to court. Her lawyer dropped her 2 weeks later. And Mel? She texted me. Not to apologize. Not to admit defeat. But to say, I hope you're happy. You ruined my life. I stared at that message for a long time. Then I wrote back. No, Mel. You ruined your life when you chose the money over the marriage. I just made sure it didn't come with a bonus check. Blocked. Deleted. And that was it. A few months later, I heard she sold the condo and moved back in with her mom. The luxury SUV got repossessed. The foundation? Quietly shut down. As for me? I moved on. Got a new apartment. Took the vacation we'd always talked about but could never afford. Started seeing someone who didn't treat loyalty like a temporary setting. And every once in a while, I donate to the Bald Eagle Sanctuary. They named one of the rescued birds after me, no joke. It's fitting, really. Because when she let greed fly away with her future, I was the one who walked away free.